without like any reading
Wait,
from
what's going
a
on?
lawyer. Uh, the government passed a executive order without reading it through with like a lawyer or a um like just somebody with a second pair of eyes, where it said that if you do not agree that sex is a mutable, changeable thing, that you will have funding cut.
Is it an immutable, changeable, unchangeable thing, or what?
Is a
Yes.
mutable, changeable thing.
Ah.
Oh, like if you don't agree with that, you will have.
The, so my guess is
So
that
basically,
they tried to dictate is an immutable, but they heard is a mutable.
Somebody fucked up.
But they signed it in, so now they have to do a retroact. Now they have to sign another thing in to cancel it, which will take time. So they're stupid.
Yes.
all right. So, oh, by the way, some stuff happened in between things, so I
Sam
have
has the
to go ahead.
Dishonored mark.
Anyway, so I gotta go to some old recordings real fast. Let's take a quick look.
Hey, the Battlefield 6 open beta. That was a thing.
Oh yeah.
So is that out this weekend?
No, that
That
was a
was a
while
month
ago.
ago, Dylan.
I know. I thought they were doing a
Oh, the
second one.
game? I believe it comes out this week.
Why did I record this one?
No, yeah, that's
I
right.
think it's this
Sam looks rough in this.
Sam, do you
one.
copy?
Oh yeah, that's why.
As you might have suspected, time here stopped while you two were on that battlefield. If my thinking is correct, the dimension to which you traveled is a kind of beach. To explain a little, our bodies, our ha, all occupy the same world, but our souls, our ka, have beaches all their own. These beaches are given form inside our brains by our beliefs, religion, philosophy, and so forth.
Sorry, this is when I started recording.
Mm.
Yeah, so that's all I got there. And
As a result, a beach can be anything, and those anythings form a multiverse. However, if many people die at once, their beaches can become entangled, creating a strand field. This phenomenon is exacerbated in wartime by omnipresent feelings of resentment and despair. Beaches are more easily and frequently entangled. On such a beach, exits vanish and experiences cycle endlessly. Picture it like a record player. The needle skips, playing the same phrase again and again. They're fighting a battle that has no beginning or end. Round and round it goes. Now, the battlefield you visited was in Eastern Europe in World War II. Which is strange, given that the man you encountered, Clifford Unger, played no part in that conflict. I can't explain it, but if you can connect me to the chiral network, who knows what we might discover.
EX grenade number 0.
I like the implication. It's like, all right, so we managed to figure out what exactly is happening to you and piece it together in bits and pieces that way. Not sure why we went to World War II though, but baby steps, baby steps. We'll get there.
Beyond it is Edgenut City, the last bastion of civilization you'll find that far out. It's your final destination. Once you use the qubit to connect it, the chiral network will span the entire continent. The rebirth of America is so close. And remember, that's where Amelie is being held captive. We need you to bring her home safely. But before you cross the tar belt, there's one more knot we need you to tie. Hartman will help you get it done.
Sam, I'd like for you to bring me a few things. First, the dog tags you took from that soldier. Tuck them away in a pocket so you don't misplace them. Second, Mama's corpse. Her body shows no signs of necrosis, and I, for one, would like very much to know the reason why. Closer study may yield information that could prove instrumental in helping us to overcome the Death Stranding. Suffice it to say, 1 minute remaining. I don't have much time. See to your preparations. I'll be waiting. You'll find an official order on the terminal.
Okay. So now you're caught up to the crew details. Mass death events create entangled beaches. Entangled beaches turn into the stuff we saw there.
EX grenade number 0.
Did we get BB back?
Yeah, we got BB back after that whole adventure in World War II. We were meeting up with was it Dead Man? Yeah, we're meeting up with Dead Man. He was gonna give us BB back. Okay, so it has been a hot minute since we've looked at any documents, so we're gonna do that too. Data. Interviews. Terrorist view of bridges. Die Hartman. First expedition set off without any problems. Both the advance party and the rear guard were en route to the west coast as we are en route to the west coast as we speak. They haven't reported any trouble with terrorists and the like yet, but the further out they get, the greater the danger. There's a hell of a lot of separatists out there who want nothing to do with the UCA. Some more extreme than others, perhaps. There's no denying where they stand. It seems like just yesterday was only ideological differences, strongly held opinions at worst. But then Chiralium started messing with people's heads, turning extremists into demons, mules into Gestalt, and debate into violence. And now we're headed west into their territory. Invaders coming for their freedom. They're waiting for us, minds made up and guns in hand. Amelie and the others aren't looking for a fight. She's going to try to talk sense into people, convince them to join us. If all the cities sign on, our nation could rise again. No one wants to take anything from these people, only give them back what was lost. If only they could understand that. Okay. Chiral clouds and timefall. Why do chiral clouds form? Why does timefall occur? Why does it herald the manifestation of BTs? These are questions we still struggle to answer. As we now know, BTs are beings formed from something akin to an antimatter. Their first appearance coincided with the Death Stranding. Prior to that point, it is believed that there was very little in the way of antimatter present in our world at all. But we've since learned that this was far from the case, for even before the Stranding, antimatter was all around us. I discovered a scientific paper on the subject titled On Antimatter in Clouds. According to the paper, gamma radiation generated by lightning strikes can trigger the formation of positrons, and indeed, particles of antimatter can be detected inside regular rain clouds. The mechanism by which they are formed is not fully understood, but the mere existence of this phenomenon is enough to suggest something intriguing. Chiral clouds contain chiralium, yes? Well, what would happen if gamma radiation were to act upon them in the same way as it does in regular clouds? Could chiralium excited by gamma radiation exacerbate minute distortions in spacetime, somehow, quote unquote, loosening the seams that connect us to our beaches? And if so, when the excited chiralium mixes with timefall and descends to the ground below, could the entire region beneath the clouds become much more strongly connected with the beach as a result? This could well explain why BTs appear in areas prone to timefall. Furthermore, if the antimatter we previously thought did not even exist in any measurable quantity on Earth were, in fact, present in such commonplace phenomena as the very clouds above us, would this not lend credence to the theory that BTs, beaches, and the world of the dead, all of these things may have existed long before the Stranding? Too much of a theoretical leap, perhaps. I do not deny our world changed, drastically and irrevocably. Nevertheless, could it not be that the Death Stranding was merely the clap of thunder that brought this great change to our attention, and not the change itself? Giant BTs. The following assessment is based entirely on eyewitness testimony. Be advised that none of these claims have been independently verified. There are several types of BT, and means by which they interact with the living also varies. Some BTs actively seek out human beings, while others attempt to draw us towards them. Still, others are capable of consuming their prey, causing a void out in the process. This is not only their rules and behavior that sets them apart, however. Their physiology is also different. Moreover, we have anecdotal evidence suggesting that the existence of some truly enormous BTs. Curiously, however, these ones do not appear to have umbilical cords. Giant BTs are comprised of the consolidated ka of multiple deceased individuals. As a result, the connection between each individual and their beach is lost, which is why the resulting BT does not manifest an umbilical cord. That's the theory, at any rate. Unfortunately, I doubt we'll be able to learn more about these entities until the chiral network is online, a day that can't come soon enough. Horadec history. Does the name Sigmund Freud mean anything to you? He was a famous
Oh, no.
I mean, what you think it
psychologist.
does.
Like, he was a famous psychologist, the most famous of them all, perhaps, but I digress. Freud formulated one of the most famous theories after observing his grandson playing with the spool of thread. The boy would throw the spool under the bed, thus ensuring that he could not see it anymore. He would then widen the thread in his hand, gradually drawing the spool back towards him until it became visible again. He repeated this process several times. It was apparently a game he played whenever his mother was elsewhere. Freud proposed that the process of concealing and rediscovering the spool was a coping mechanism, a way in which the boy could put his mind at ease. You see, the boy was in control of the spool. He could make it disappear and reappear at will. This helped him to comprehend his mother's absence as not something sudden or irrational, but as something controlled and therefore not a cause for concern. A novelist named Franz Kafka later coined the term for this spool of thread, Oradek. However, he conceived he conceived it as an object capable of speech and autonomous movement, a mysterious being neither dead nor alive. The Oradecs we use are perhaps not so different. These interfaces through which we experience our BB's perception of their surroundings are not unlike spools of thread, a connection between our world and the other side, the living and the dead, human and BB. BTs come in all shapes and sizes. Although eyewitness testimony has led us to identify several types of BT, perhaps most interesting of all are the entities which may not be BTs at all. The subjects in question bear some resemblance to jellyfish, and are visible even to those without dooms. Okay, so those are the gas bag ones. While we have little information concerning their physiology and behavior, upon detecting the presence of a human, they will attack by rapidly approaching their target before exploding. Disturbing, to say the least, especially given that they appear to be impervious to small arms fire, though perhaps we can take comfort in the fact that they do not seem capable of causing void outs. Our best guess at the moment is that these are a subspecies of BT, one that does not form as a result of a human death. Beyond that, they are a complete mystery. Perhaps when the repatriate Sam Porter chooses to join Bridges, we can attempt to develop a means of dealing with this new threat. In the meantime, however, we can but continue to study and speculate. Death experience. Until relatively recently, death could only be studied from the perspective of an external observer, as the experience of one's own death could not be communicated to another. A collaborative investigation of the phenomenon was fundamentally impossible. But through the examination of subjects in near-death states and the cataloging of their experiences, we've at last been able to bring scientific method to bear on this most final of frontiers. Even those in a state of so-called quote-unquote brain death exhibit signs of consciousness. What could this possibly mean? Moreover, why do some on the brink of death report out-of-body experiences? Furthermore, why do so many of those who have such experiences describe the same sensations of being beckoned towards a distant light? Many had argued these commonalities were evidence of an objective reality of a quote unquote place beyond life. If nothing else, they at least suggested that death was not an instantaneous change of states, but a process. The beach has since proven much of this beyond a doubt, and the dead rising again as BTs through necrosis demonstrates this process in action. The place beyond life is no longer a theoretical possibility. Its existence must be taken as an incontrovertible fact. Cave paintings and stencils. Cave paintings provide an invaluable window into the lives of our ancestors, how they lived, what they experienced, how some of them have preserved here on our continent. Although most have sadly been lost in voidouts. The oldest cave paintings of all are believed to date back to 64,800 years or more. But all of these are, or perhaps were, in Europe. What's become of them, I wonder? Have they too been obliterated by annihilation events? If not, are the caves containing them now infested with BTs? Does Europe still exist even? One cannot help but worry that these vital records have been forever lost to us. But I digress. These paintings were likely made by the Neanderthals. They were crude depictions of creatures such as deer, bison, and horses, interspersed with stenciled outlines of large hands. Some assert that these are the signatures, quote unquote, of primeval painters. But could they not also be depictions of BT handprints? Could our ancient relatives have been trying to tell us something? Or issue a warning? Or is that perhaps one flight of fancy too far? BTs and voidouts. The following conclusions are largely derived from a handful of eyewitness accounts. While I would advise anyone to take them with a grain of salt, I still believe that they are worth sharing. BTs pursue their prey through a multi-step process. In the first, they begin searching for a target, the quote-unquote handprints left behind as evidence of this behavior. Upon detection, one or more BTs will attempt to seize their target and drag it towards a much larger entity. To clarify, however, a voidout does not occur at the point of contact between the giant and the human, only once the human has been subsumed into the giant's body. We think this may be because there's only one place where antimatter is present within the entity. It goes without saying that BTs are entirely different from any creature that is of this world. We have much to learn about them still. One thing is for certain, however, we must come to understand them, else we may never overcome the existential threat that they pose. Did I go over Egypt? Anyhow, at some point.
I mean, we've definitely mentioned it.
Alright, this one I haven't. The Egyptian view of the brain. It is common nowadays to think of the personality, the mind, of the consciousness as a whole, as a phenomenon born exclusively of the brain. However, to the ancient Egyptians, things were different. They believed that a person's soul, their spiritual essence, resided in the heart. As a result, the mummification process involved the removal of all internal organs save one, the brain included. To the Egyptians, a man's ka was represented represented by and contained within the heart, whereas the ha was made up of other organs and the remainder of the flesh. Hardly a picture compatible with modern medical science. But consider them for a moment, the BBs which porters utilize on the field, the brain-dead still mothers to which they are bound. Can it not be said that in turning our attention away from the brain and towards the heart, the womb, the umbilicus, that our quest to grow closer to the world of the dead, we are perhaps returning to the old ways? Repatriates and voidouts. I've come across a number of old reports which make mention of humans who have certain powers which have led them to become known as repatriates, quote unquote. As we know, when a human and a BT come into contact, a voidout results. This is analogous to what physicists would term a quote annihilation event, unquote. These events occur when matter meets antimatter, and mass is converted, violently and abruptly, into energy. The process is highly efficient, though some energy is lost to the production of neutrinos. Similarly, in a voidout, vast amounts of energy are released, resulting in a destruction on a devastating scale which leaves behind a large crater. Voidouts triggered by contact with repatriates, however, consistently result in smaller craters. It is suspected that this is because energy is lost, quote unquote, to the beach in the same manner that it is lost in neutrino production in a conventional annihilation event. And that in the case of repatriates, the amount of energy is lost is particularly high. That said, how the repatriate's body survives intact is a far bigger mystery, and one on which I will refrain from commenting until I've had the chance to examine one in the flesh. One notable repatriate is Sam Strand, a former member of Bridges who left some years ago and has been making his way in the world as a porter ever since. I do hope I get to meet him someday, considering how invaluable he could be in advancing our understanding of the true nature of the beaches and Death Stranding. King Midas and the chiral crystals. Rumors have been circulating regarding a man who calls himself, quote, King Midas, unquote. Unlike his namesake from the Greek mythology, however, this gentleman does not turn all that he touches into gold. Instead, he claims to wield the power to create chiral crystals at will. Stories suggest that he gained this power as a result of experiments involving organisms which possessed a similar ability. I am, of course, aware of the existence of microbes that can melt and condense gold, in effect extracting it from ore deposits, but this is the first I have heard of any organism that can do something similar with chiralium. These organisms are apparently akin to cryptobiotes, as well as the coral that is found in the sea, and that they exist outside of time. If this man truly managed to harvest such organisms, then it is an extraordinary achievement which could lead to untold possibilities, veritable bioalchemy, even. Much like his mythical counterpart, however, King Midas is said to have paid a heavy price for his power. Indeed, his body has turned into a mass of particles, a side effect of crystallizing all the chiralium in which he came into contact. It is said that the only evidence of his existence are two golden handprints he left behind. Now, I must temper this rather dramatic story by stressing that no microbes capable of the previously described ability have been detected. As such, I suspect the king is nothing more than an urban legend, the kind of story spun by dreamers in a world where chiral crystals are rare and precious and can only be collected from perilous, timefall-soaked places. Perhaps we could even consider it a morality tale. The moral being, of course, that greed is never good. Whether one lusts for gold or chiral crystals, it is, however, a remarkable coincidence that, not long after I first heard of this modern day King Midas, I also started to hear rumors concerning a man wearing a golden death mask. Could the two be related? Who knows? Evolution, Death Stranding, and the fear of dying. Death has Homo sapiens' constant companion. Death has been Homo sapiens' constant companion for every step of our evolutionary journey. Our cultures and civilizations have been built with an awareness of our relationship with death, to the extent to which we can accept and live with it. Out of fear of the inevitable decomposition and destruction of the flesh, our ancestors developed elaborate embalming techniques, death masks, and the like. Indeed, the mask has ever been a symbol of the soul that transcends this world to exist for eternity in the next. The mummies and sarcophagi of ancient Egypt are but one instance of this. Honored individuals are given masks and placed inside sarcophagi in order to be preserved for eternity, thereby transcending death and attaining immortality. Paintings and photographs are no different, really. They are simply more modern variants of the Egyptians' masks and sarcophagi. Indeed, all of humanity's crowning achievements, art, language, writing, are arguably a reaction to death, an expression of our desire to overcome it. They are great feats born of fear, and one might even go as far as to say that it was the primal fear of death that drove at the evolution of our ancestors into Homo sapiens in the first place. In fact, I would go further still. I would posit that it was this fear that brought about the Death Stranding itself. It has certainly seemed more and more plausible of late.
I have to go. So I'll be right back.
Okay. Bridges needs Homo ludens. I have already spoken at length of the new varieties of man that have emerged in the wake of chiral pollution and the resulting phobias. Homo demons, Homo gestalt, not to mention those touched by dooms. This much is common knowledge. I, however, would posit that could further categorize humans of this day and age. Take our comrades Mama and Lochna, for example. They are creators, are they not? People who use tools to make things. Craftspeople. Homo faber. Consider Dead Man, one who looks the dead in their eyes every day, one who takes their organs as his own. His relationship with death is transcendental, sublime. It is in essence his faith, and he, a homo religiosus. As for myself, homo loquens, a linguist, one who seeks to understand the world through the language of science and logic. There is, however, another very special type of human, a breed that would serve Bridges rather well, homo ludens. They who play. Be it deliberate or unintentional, homo ludens unite people, creating culture, shaping the very world around them. Not through violence, nor laws, or proscriptions, but rather through metaphorical acts of play. I know of only one person who matches this description, the one they call the, quote, great deliverer, unquote, Sam Porter. Despite Die Hartman's best efforts, however, his whereabouts are still unknown. Drones and the Singularity. From Mama. Yep, the bot is good to go. We're putting it through some field tests with the network service area. Should have the results before long. Delivery efficiency within a given region is expected to improve following a successful Cupid connection as well. No, that won't be a problem. The bot's just a cargo carrier. Human input is required to accept orders and set coordinates. Drone syndrome shouldn't be a factor. And the Singularity? Not a chance. Well, think about it. AI doesn't die. It might get upgraded or replaced, but that's not at all comparable to death. So it has no reason to fear it, you see. The concept is completely foreign, incomprehensible. Death comes to all living things, but only humans have the capacity to understand the implications, to imagine what it means to no longer exist. That's one limitation an AI won't ever overcome. That's the reason it won't ever surpass human intelligence. Just straight up, we have Hideo Kojima saying AI ain't gonna be shit.
Ball.
From Lochna. Lochna and Malingen. You know what we used to dream about? Seeing what's beyond those clouds up there. We spent our whole lives beneath a chiralium sky. That's all we've ever known. We also know that the world used to be so much bigger. Our parents told us. They were researchers who worked for NASA. Though these days most people wouldn't know what that was. It went up in smoke around the same time America did, and all our parents worked with it. But we still have our dreams. The one thing our parents gave us that can never be taken away. Malingen and I were named after a pair of craters left by meteors which struck the Earth 450 million years ago. These craters are proof that this planet is part of something bigger, that we exist within a vast interconnected universe. Our names serve as a reminder of this fundamental truth. Symbols of our parents' hope and isolation is only temporary. That's why we joined Bridges too, to bring the people of this country together again, and to one day reunite this planet with the greater universe that surrounds it. Fragile's father and Fragile Express. Fragile. My father came up with the name Fragile Express before I was born. The US was Swiss cheese back then. All the void outs had left craters as far as the eye could see. Were losing their minds looking for a way out. They thought the government would have their back, but it was gone. All the systems, all the gears that kept their world turning, smashed to bits in a matter of seconds. When everything you know breaks, it's hard not to break yourself. Before our new network, there was an old one. The whole nation was online 24/7, cameras and microphones everywhere, watching and listening and recording. There was a strange sort of comfort in that, people said. A certainty that someone, somewhere, would know if you were in trouble. But after the Stranding, that all vanished into the ether. No one was looking out anymore. No one was coming to save you. A lot of folks died waiting before the rest caught on and took matters into their own hands. My father was one of the latter. He'd been working for a private logistics company, and he and some friends figured that they were in a position to bring people supplies and repair vital infrastructure Americans used to rely on to survive. They were builders, men and women who understood the value of what was lost and wanted to reclaim it. My father and them really believed that they could get it all back, bit by bit, make us whole, make us America. It was a precious, fragile dream, like so much back then. But if they nurtured it, if they stayed true, he knew it could all be ours again. People, ideas, connections, all so fragile. The USA was nothing more than a network of people and the connections between them. No wonder it broke apart so easily. But everything that's worth something is fragile. That's why I was given this name. My father is not with us anymore, but the bond between us remains. Fragile though it is. I will be right back. I gotta use the restroom.
Raven, could you please tell me that the first thing that came to your mind too when you heard the phrase "make us whole," like "make it whole" is "make us whole again," Isaac? Wait, no, Raven left. God damn it. Sure, someone will agree with me.
Okay, I'm back.
Yep. So
Oxytocin. Oh, go ahead.
during that whole bit, the phrase "make it whole" came
Mhm.
up, and all I could think of was "make us whole again, Isaac."
Yeah, Death Stranding.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Oh, we're still at this. Okay.
Yeah, I've been reading a lot of lore. Like I said, we've put this off for like the last 4 weeks. So yeah,
Yeah,
oxytocin.
we now have a session
Wait,
of lore to catch up on.
yeah. Back before the Stranding, people they didn't rely on smart drugs like oxytocin so much. Probably because they weren't so damn isolated. Me and my brother Igor, we got separated from our folks after the first void
Please.
out. Shit was crazy. I was just a kid, but he was even younger, too young to have to go through all that. Spending night after night holed up in those ruins, it was rough. But we had each other, held each other close to stay warm, and it made things better. Docs tell you that's the oxy doing its thing, the hormone that the body releases when we touch each other. That's why mothers form bonds with their kids when they hold them, and other stuff like that. But with the comms networks not what they were, it's more dangerous than ever to go outside. And even when you got other people around, they don't seem too keen to make physical contact. A, quote, collective aversion due to an ingrained fear of BTs and void outs, unquote. Or so I've been told. Add it all up, and you've got yourself people that's isolated, scattered, stretched out, and insecure. So we've got no choice but to supplement our oxy levels, fill the void left by physical infection with chemical TLC. Pretty fucked up, am I right? I know we used to go to war over race and religion and all that back in the day, but it had to be better than living like this. From Igor, why drones can't fly. You know what I've wanted to be when I was a kid? An astronaut, believe it or not. Must be hard to imagine now, but back before the Stranding, the skies were full of drones, airplanes, all kinds of crap zipping back and forth from continent to continent. Some that even went up into outer space. But the chiral clouds put an end to all that. Nothing flies now. Nah, it all came crashing down, and my dreams with it. Damned clouds messed with the flight system somehow. Don't ask me how. Eat up comm signals too, which is how come long distance signals can't get through anymore. That's why we've got no idea what's happening in other countries. Set us back more than a century in that respect. People talk about how the Stranding sent us scrambling for the cities, severed the bonds between us, but did more than that. Severed the land from the sky. Antimatter and storage from Philip North. Everything went like clockwork. We recovered all the antimatter, performed the requested maintenance on the magnetic trap too. Should be a bit more stable now. Still can't believe those amateurs managed to get their hands on the stuff, though. Apparently, they stumbled across it while researching chiral clouds, though I suppose that makes some kind of sense. Even before the Death Stranding, there was evidence of regular lightning storms could generate antimatter, and the chiral ones are surely stranger. Sounds like they were able to capture it only once, though. So that's something. Imagine if antimatter was easy to get a hold of. Terrorists would have a field day. Anyway, we've got it stored safely now, and no one's the wiser. Just hope something good comes of it. That's all. You know what the alternative is, Lochna. Let me go back the other way and see about those journals and also stuff from regarding Alright. From the report on the void out in Manhattan. I got this after fighting Unger. I don't know if it was from the first time or the second time, but let's go over there. Quote, "Who the hell?" Unquote. Those were the doctor's final words. At the time, no one knew to whom he was referring, and to be fair, there were more pressing issues at hand. The doctor in question was a surgeon specializing in cesarean sections. The procedure he was undertaking at the time, however, was slightly unusual in that he was operating on a mother who had been declared brain dead 7 months into her pregnancy. She had been placed on life support, but since her blood pressure was decreasing and the fetus was showing signs of bradycardia, the decision was made to operate. Because the procedure was broadcast to medical researchers in a closed unit, set like in a closed circuit network, we were fortunate enough to have a record of what took place. Per the footage, the incision was made without incident. The plan was apparently to remove the fetus from the womb and immediately place it in a NICU, where it would receive the necessary care. Prior to this, the surgeon would of course have cut the umbilical cord. This is the moment that changed everything. The moment the surgeon's hand touched the cord, in that instant, he uttered his infamous last words. Who the hell? Report on the Void Out in Manhattan, Part 2. Following a number of tests and experiments, the conclusion was reached this incident was an annihilation event brought about by the doctor's contact with whatever, or whomever, he had seen upon touching the umbilical cord. Though it had eventually became apparent that the doctor had been referring to BTs, at that time, no one could explain the underlying cause of the incident. Some later theorized that if the same conditions, brain dead mother, fetus, umbilical cord, could be recreated, then BTs could be detected, and the mystery of the Death Stranding would be solved. Indeed, this was the theoretical basis upon which the government's own experiments and investigations would be conducted. They called the fetuses they used bridge babies, and the experiments became known as the BB experiments. Soon after the government's program got underway, the tragedy of Manhattan occurred. Report from the Void Out in Manhattan. The BB experiments were conducted at a Manhattan-based government facility in such extreme secrecy that little is known about them to this day. One thing that we do know for certain, however, is that the experiments ended in tragic failure, and were directly responsible for the total annihilation of the island of Manhattan, as well as the death of the president, who had been observing operations firsthand. He was succeeded by then Vice President Bridget Strand, who shortly after her inauguration put an end to all further BB experiments and had all data destroyed. With her strong and steadfast leadership in the wake of the Void Out, she made great strides in quelling the chaos and unrest that had spread throughout the nation. She vowed to rebuild America, and devoted herself wholeheartedly to this end. In response, separatists who opposed Reconstruction emerged and steadily grew more aggressive in their activities. One faction even managed to acquire documents relating to the BB experiments, and some speculate that this data was used to restart them in secret. At the time, however, no BB units are known to have been successfully created, and BBs in general remain a taboo subject in government circles. Let's see here. We've gone over some of these. Alright, so I think the last journal entry I actually got to read was maybe 5? Yeah, I think it was 5. And we more or less guessed that this guy was Higgs before he became what he is. Okay, so the last thing we read was that he started wearing a mask, and that no one else would see his face after that. Okay, journal entry 6. The Bridges Way station out west just got taken out by a terrorist. He used a Void Out to do it. They dumped a corpse nearby and let it go necro, dropping BTs right in people's laps. Word is Demons heard that Bridges was sending an expeditionary force out west to facilitate the reconstruction of America or some such. Guess they didn't take kindly to that. Terrorists, separatists, isolationists, all these folks claim, quote, America, unquote, is coming for their freedom. That the old guard wants to put them in chains, make the individual subservient to the collective. They ask what it's all for in a post-Stranding world when today's triumph is tomorrow's crater. Daddy used to spout the same tired line, said America never did nothing for nobody. That's why we took to living in a shelter. Better down in the hole out there than under their thumb. Yeah, he was a real saint, my daddy. Tried to run a few times, but he'd just drag me back inside, kicking and screaming, where he'd put all those heavy hands of his to work and remind me that what happened if I disrespected his authority. But that's love, isn't it? His way of looking after an orphan child he raised on his own. He was only trying to protect me from the evils of the outside world. I own my life, and my powers, too. First time I ever sensed a BT was when I held him, moments before he went necro. Just like when I dumped him at dumped that prepper's body. My daddy showed me that corpses are precious, powerful things, so much more than bombs. Terrorists ought to treat them with proper respect. I had us team up with a bunch of porters who service the central part of the country. Had to be done, writing was on the wall. Actually, I may have read these. Rumors about my powers don't do her justice. I knew she had dooms. Oh yeah, I did read these. Okay. Okay, we
Am
can
I
stop
hearing a
there.
dog?
No, you're hearing BB whining. Okay. Let's see. There are still other preppers to find, and we can also go meet Hartman.
Man, I feel like an asshole now thinking that sounded like a dog.
Okay, if we're gonna end up fighting BTs as we go to see these other things, I'm gonna get some extra ammo. And some grenade pouches. Oh, shit. Hang on, I remember. There's something I need to show you guys.
Beginning scan.
Nope, that's not what I
Scanning
wanted.
bridges
Wrong.
ID. Verifying
Well.
ID. Clear. Weapons
This.
detected. All weapons will be locked
Hold
until
on one sec.
departure. All clear. Welcome, Sam Porter Bridges.
John, is that you?
What are you doing here?
My wife's checked in. They don't want a repeat of last year.
I'm so sorry. I didn't know you were.
So I don't know, but I'm pretty sure I do know that was Die Hard Man, only because we know of a grand total of one black guy in this game.
Oh my god.
Lol.
Alright, we're gonna go get the chip, and we're gonna get some winter clothes.
I mean, if I'm wrong, feel free to correct me and point to me the other people of color so far.
Hey, we're going out to BT area. I believe we have blood bags. Let me get some climbing anchors.
Order assigned.
Discovering a ship from BT area.
Weapons restriction. Safe travels.
Okay, how much further? Not that much further. Real quick, one of you guys speak for me.
Hi.
Cool.
Almost there. There we go. There we go.
Okay, we're approaching now.
Have you managed to explore with Lou back?
Not a lot.
Because I was wondering, how does it feel in comparison to after all of the exploration you did without?
So without Lou, it basically just meant that I would go and like more or less just fucking run through an area, and if a BT spotted me, do a quick turn, but keep going.
And hope.
Oh.
Can't see them.
Pretty fucking scary, huh?
The noises that the little like beeping is making, it sounds like an Imperial probe droid from Star Wars.
Like with the come on, come on, come on! Oh my god, it got stuck on the fucking terrain. I hate it.
It's almost like terrain is a big part of the game.
It's just very inconsistent about that. With the, Fuck this thing. Oh my god. The way VTs have just become an annoyance to me, and that's it.
Yeah.
Somehow they just threw water. I was fine, and like something that came up and just knocked me down.
So my question is, Alex, how do you make it? Do you change anything to make it more scary? What would you change, if anything, about the encounters?
It's honestly not even that. Oh, you bitch!
Lol.
Fucking cat. I think it's just honestly the thing that happens with any video game. Which is you just get used to what you're dealing with. And once you know what you're doing, it's like the threat becomes less real. Like having played Resident Evil 2 Remake like 3 times now. For me, when I deal with fucking Mr. X, I'm not going, oh shit, oh fuck, oh shit. I'm going, God fucking damn it, why didn't you show up right now? I'm busy.
But god damn it, I'm busy right now, leave me alone. Oh god.
Like, that's not a failure on Kojima's part. It's just what it is when it comes to playing any sort of video game where you have to deal with something. If you have to deal with it enough, and I get
gotta figure out how to
familiar,
make it not awful. You gotta figure out how to deal with it.
Like, I mean, you could technically develop a way so that, regardless, it is a difficult experience. That doesn't necessarily make it fun.
Yeah, challenge is good, but just with how we deal with things, we adapt to a challenging thing to make it less challenging.
It's not in that we adapt to it to be less challenging. It's that I'd say this is an issue with video games in general. You can tell me that something is an existential threat, XYZ, like blah 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 blah. But eventually, I learned, like, because it is a game, it has clear, defined limits in its programming, and players
Mr. X
will
is
find
supposed to
it.
be considered like the ultimate weapon and is a biological nightmare in terms of regeneration, durability, and strength, but gets tripped up on a fucking table.
It's okay. It's alright.
Like, if you just curve around a table real quick, you can just loop him. Sappy Jiva is a monster that can break the laws of physics and can see the player through the TV screen, but can't handle somebody doing the most hyper-optimal damage per second and beating the hunt in less than 3 minutes.
Those people scare me.
Part of the reason why people make randomizers is so that they will get a combination that is hard to just immediately break the programming of. In any video game.
Although, going into what should be Margit's fight, your initial fight with Margit on the fucking bridge in Elden Ring, and getting some fucker like Rykard is its own level of hell and its own fucking experience. Funny to me.
I mean, the fun in the randomizer is also potentially that if people are looking at you in the randomizer, you will encounter something inevitably from the randomizer that is not good for you to encounter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine those little jail cells that you encounter typically, like mini bosses in like the normal ruins that you would fight like a demi-human queen, but instead instead you fight a Erdtree at
Avatar.
No, the putrid the worm
Yeah,
thing.
we have
I
one of
always forget
those.
what they're called.
Ulcerated tree spirit.
Yeah, you find an ulcerated tree spirit, one of those, and it physically can't fit the arena, so it's like clipping like mad and just.
Well,
it's
okay,
hard
yeah,
to
one of the
actually
tiny
look
ones.
at
Yeah,
in there.
we have one of those. That is a fight. that is an actual fight.
I don't
and
believe it's
awful.
in one of.
It's in a slightly bigger version of one of those rooms, just to fit. But it is awful. It is in one of those rooms,
Like, I
at
hate
the end of one
fighting
of those
those
dungeons,
things
and
all
it's
the time.
terrible.
But, like,
I hate fighting
like
in
when
the open.
the one time when you fight them in the open, it's like not nearly as much of a problem.
Like, it's still bad. I still hate it. But it's not nearly
Yeah,
as
what
much
I
of a
mean
problem.
is
That's
like
one
that
fight
area in Shadows of the Erdtree when you're fighting the NPCs.
Those tiny
funeral area. That's like a 10 by 10 room. The Erdtree avatar would take up 2/3 of that room just stationary.
The ulcerated tree spirit wouldn't even fit in there.
But if you encounter that in a randomizer and it's like clipping like mad through it and it's just waddling constantly and you're being flung from left to right because its physical model is pushing you.
That would be funny as a viewer. It would not be funny as the person who had to fight it.
I don't know. I think on a certain level it is funny as a player.
Well, yeah, you're just like, okay, this is so fucked. I just have to laugh
yeah.
at it.
There's always like some level where you look at a situation. You have the potential to look at a situation and it's like, this was like, there was nothing I could do.
I wonder what Jackie's gonna give us now when we return to this chapter.
Beginning scan. Scanning bridges ID. Verifying ID. Clear. Good morning, Decontaminating suit. All clear.
I will
Welcome,
never
Sam,
understand
for the bridges.
people that unironically use certain cyberpunk slang.
What, like choom?
Chromed up, I'll get. Let's Delta or Nova. Alright, it's pretty decent. Choom, no, can't spin that. Can't spin
No.
Choom.
I hear that there is an actual place where it's an actual very, very region-specific slang. That one wasn't entirely made up.
Well, Alex, there's a lot of specific regional slang that you are not allowed to use in any other place in the entire world because it sounds fucking stupid or people beat you up. I feel like
Like the stuff from
that section
Wisconsin?
of the world needs to adopt it.
That was maybe a little bit
No,
unfair.
that was
I
perfect.
I didn't even understand what that meant in context, so I didn't say anything.
I said like Wisconsin.
Yeah, but like I don't know what that means in context of what we were discussing. That's why I didn't
It's
say
like just
anything.
regional slang that you shouldn't be able to like that you should
Welcome
say
back.
Be
in other
allowed to
places.
use anywhere else.
I wanted to say something as an example, but I can't
Wow.
because it's
You
technically a
really took great
slur.
care of everything.
Oh my god.
I mean,
You know
honestly,
something
it'd be
that
hard
got
to anything less than perfect.
like you know what got me was NorCal regional slang that I did not hear my entire life until into my 20s, and just like during the 2010s it suddenly became a lot more common. Like this, before 2013 I had never in my life heard the word hella. You'd be hard
Really?
pressed, literally. In fact, I'd been quite a like I'd been all over the place, except I hadn't been to NorCal. And the thing is that culturally, Northern California and Southern California are very, very different. Southern California is a lot more Mexican, unless you go to LA.
It is
Which
funny.
LA is still very
considering, like,
Mexican, but it's also very bougie.
Like when I hear the word hella, my first instinct is, oh, that is from California.
It is. It's just
Yeah.
from a different region of California. Like,
Yeah, but I always think that because you are still part of the state, you would encounter it more than not at all.
it's a thing where
See-
once you get to a certain latitude in California, it basically becomes an entirely different state.
Yeah, California could split into two different halves, and very little genuine change would probably be recognized.
People, a thing that sometimes that I remember used to get said was once you get to a certain point, California stop like once you get to a certain point north, it's no longer California. You're just in Southern Oregon.
Oh,
I guess in my brain, it's just like I understand that there's regional differences in culture and design, weather, what have you.
You're an inspiration
But
to all.
my brain goes, well, if you live in the state, you have at least some point in your life interacted with people from the northeast, south, and west section of that state.
Okay.
You have to have intermixed some way and are aware of the other's culture and can use it somehow. My brain doesn't compute that.
Alright,
It would be
so,
like, no, this
Raven,
is a separate
if I drive an hour west, I hit ocean. If I drive 3 hours east, I hit Arizona. If I drive 3 hours south, I hit Mexico. If I drive 9 hours north, I'm still in Central California.
I mean, that means, like, I get that, but at the same time, I live on the southeastmost section of Wisconsin, every other direction to me that is not south or east takes at least 4 to 8 hours to reach the edge of it, and they are all radically different from where I currently live. But at the same time, I encounter people that live from different sections. Like Green Bay may as well be a different state
Mm-hmm.
than where I live, and yet I still encounter those people, and we still have similarities, and I like use things from there.
It's not that I've
So like my
never met
brain
anybody
just goes,
from Northern
"How have you
California.
never heard that?"
It's just that, okay, one, one, it's very specific Northern California slang. Two, it would be slang for that was in the teenage for teenagers. You wouldn't really hear too many adults below
Adults
the
say that,
age of
and so
30. Like, unless they were below the age of 30, you wouldn't hear many adults say that. And it was a thing of just whenever you hear about like California culture, a lot of people only hear about Southern California culture. Or if it's Northern California, they hear about they don't even really hear about Northern California. They hear about Central California's San Francisco and Oakland. I guarantee you, there are places in California that you haven't heard about, I hadn't heard about. A friend, I met a guy when I was going to college in Central California. I met a guy. I said, "Hey, where are you from?" He said, "Placerville," and I said, "That's not a real town."
that's not real. It pulls up the fucking map. It shows you that's not fucking real. There's no way that's real.
And
Now, now at the same time, there are things that I hear and I'm like, that's not real, but I'm willing to bet that it is real if you then talk about how we got there from a linguistic standpoint, because there's a lot of weird names. I believe in Britain there is a town called Fagsville,
I believe it.
and it was because it was a huge proponent of getting started the cigar trade.
No, I believe that. Yeah, I don't have any trouble believing that. One of the things that I think, because the thing is, Northern California slang is now a lot more integrated with stuff down here as well. I think a big deal of it was that from 2005 to 2010, a lot of social media was still in its bigger scale in social media, not just forums, but stuff like Facebook and whatnot was still kind of in its infancy. Facebook was big, but it wasn't what it would be now, and where it was totally ruinous. And there were other ones. By the time of about 2016, I started actually regularly, I actually started meeting more and more people from other places, but also I started seeing people see stuff from Northern California a lot more often. And the first, I gotta tell you, the first time I actually saw NorCal slang in media was actually Life is Strange. That takes place in, I believe, Oregon, but that they're close enough to share some slang stuff, so that was actually pretty interesting. Yeah, I got blood bags.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that there's such a significant cultural difference between NorCal and SoCal. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, there's not fucking much of anything in Central California.
Okay, in Central California is the place where people go to pretend, where Hollywood would go to pretend that they're not in Central California, to pretend they're not in California. They would be where they would go to pretend that they're actually in other states. Mainly because Central California looks like Kansas. It's full of farms.
So yeah, nothing there.
The land is not like
Not a
super-
damn thing there.
It's very beautiful. It's very beautiful land. It's not flat though. Depending, like if you want to find a flat thing, you have to be real careful about it. But yeah, and then Eastern California, particularly southeastern California, is everything you've seen about American deserts. Then there's the Sierra Nevada with Sequoia National Park, where you can find General Sherman. And holy fuck. And there's Redwood National Park, where I believe Hyperion is. And that's pretty great. Oh, you know, I've mentioned this numerous times before, but like...
I was gonna make a joke, but you wouldn't get it.
Okay.
Would I?
One thing I've mentioned is like in Central California, Santa Cruz, near there. Right around there is like Skywalker Ranch. And that's also where they filmed The Forest Moon of Endor. And it's exactly like that. Like, Raven, could you, like, try to reconcile that is in the same state as where you visited me?
I mean, Alex, I pointed out that there was snow on the mountaintops, and that fucked with my brain, and you said, no, that makes sense.
It was November. It was
yeah, and I
mid-November.
was also in a t-shirt and shorts.
Yeah, but like elevation is a
the
son of a
violent
bitch.
elevation.
And it wasn't
Yeah,
like
the
this
effect
wasn't like a
that
short
couple
mountain, hun. That was a mountain that was reaching the heavens. That was like one
Yeah,
of
the
the
effect
mountains
of
in
a
Southern
2,000
California that you were looking at.
Yeah, the effects of a few thousand feet of elevation difference can have is astonishing.
Alright, let's get some winter clothes. That's also why I told Raven that, like, when Raven said that they'd seen mountains before, I'm like, have you?
No.
If you can be confused
Okay.
by a mountain having snow on it,
There-
while down here you're
There
in
is a
t-shirt.
difference between have you seen a mountain? Have you seen a mountain where it looks like you could drive there within 20 minutes?
So here's the thing. You were
That is
seeing...
not like I have seen mountains that were half a day away via driving.
Okay, let me tell you something though.
I have not seen mountains that big or that close.
So the thing is, the mountains that were like 20 minutes away, none of them had snow. The one that was the one that actually had snow was just so big that it looked like it was 20 minutes away. That mountain was 2 hours away. I know, because I've been to that mountain.
But point being, like, have you actually seen mountains? Yes, not that close or that big.
Makes you think, but I don't know if you, I mean, it sounds to me more like you saw hills.
You saw big ass hills.
But
I mean, they are mountains they are called mountains in Wisconsin, so.
That just tells me that Wisconsinites don't know what the fuck a mountain is.
It's
No,
fine.
like-
I mean, like, I'm fucking about here with the whole thing, but yeah.
Me too, but the idea of an entire state just not knowing what the fuck a mountain is hilarious to me.
I will say, like anytime I go to like Flatland, I kind of freak out. Because everywhere I've lived my entire life, I've never actually had true Flatland to conceptualize.
Meanwhile, when I was just driving, I was looking everywhere. I'm like, how do you know where anything is?
But I would straight up tell you when we were driving.
Yeah, and it didn't compute to me. Like in Flatland, I could just look and I'd see the things over there.
Like the thing I would tell Raven is like I would even like when I was a kid, I used to be like a little bitch about whenever I heard people get lost. I said, "What? If you're not in the forest, Look at the nearest mountain and navigate from there, idiot.
Keep on keeping on.
Because like
Meanwhile,
for so
me, I'm
much
just
of
like, Alex, just
my
use your
life,
eyes.
yeah,
Just look around.
so much of my life, it's just been, there's never been an instance where I could not go, okay, mountains there, like, and this is my general area. If I'm looking at this part of the mountain, so then I will then go this way. But then hearing like, but then it's like, but that's flatland, like, oh, wait, how do you navigate if the land is flat? If the land all looks the same? Okay, winter clothing up here in... It is Starman.
This place only slightly looks like what Wisconsin looks like on a daily basis.
The thing is, like, once every 10 years or so, we'll just get, the snows in the mountain. Like, we'll get a weather event that's, like, insane. Like, every year it snows. It snows. That's the point of it. What we're not prepared for is when the snow of the mountains gets down to the highway. That means the weather has gone horribly, horribly wrong.
Mountains getting snowed on, perfectly normal. The like ground level shit, like near sea level shit, like 4 miles away, like 4 to
I still
30 miles away
live
from
on the
mountains.
side of a mountain.
Horrifying.
Like I've just lived much lower on the mountain.
No, it's foothills.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember like a year or two back, we were talking about how you had gotten actual snow. It's like, this ain't fucking normal. How you supposed to see this shit?
Yeah. Like, I live in the foothills, which are pretty fucking wild, but they're not as wild as the actual, like, communities. Like, I could hike my neighborhood and I'll find signs that say no fucking hunting. But, you know, you're still gonna see more people. There's not gonna be a big break in the roads where you're not gonna see any houses. When you actually go up to the mountains, it's like you see a mountain road, you see some trees, and then you see wilderness, and you know there's a community over there somewhere.
Well,
You know, part of me really wants to show Alex around in Wisconsin, but the only places that I could actually think that might interest her would be on the north end. And the problem with that is that a certain group that starts with a K primarily live there.
I mean, it's wild because,
I ain't talking about the Kings.
yeah, it's wild because Disneyland is in the county that also has a group that starts with K living there. Oh fuck. Okay, where the fuck are we?
fuck are you?
It's just white!
Yeah, fucking
Okay.
is.
So from my perspective, I'm used to traveling in this kind of thing. So I'm like, this isn't that bad. I can see where you're supposed to go.
Okay, here's the road.
From my perspective, I was like, just go left and keep going down. But Alex, that wasn't why I was laughing. I was laughing because I then had the mental image of Mickey Mouse talking.
Keep on keeping on.
Why don't you go back where you come from?
Like, Anaheim isn't like in the worst worst part of Orange County, but you gotta be fucking, like, stay the fuck out of Huntington. I still love that. We were in the whitest county in my experience. And I'm just like, man, I'm a little uncomfortable. Like, I'm internally thinking, man, I'm a little uncomfortable with all these white people around. And Raven goes, damn. There's so few white people here.
Raven's like, all the what white people?
Alex sees 2 white people and goes, damn, there's so many white people here. I see maybe 1 white person. I go, oh, where are they? I'm used to being the most ethnic-looking person in the neighborhood.
Like, how do I put this? I had a work seminar recently. At this work seminar,
Almost there.
I don't think there were any actual white people there.
Verifying ID.
And I did not notice that until afterwards. Until like the whole 2 weeks seminar was done.
Welcome, Sam Porter Bridges.
Oh.
The fucking grocery stores I go to. One of my preferred grocery stores is called El Super. And all the stuff is listed in Spanish first and English second. That's just where I live.
Well, that's being a bit more commonplace here too.
Hey, Sam. Look, I'm sorry to impose on you once again, but we wouldn't ask if it wasn't important.
Yeah, I've mentioned it before about California, especially where I live. If you don't pick up at least
You really
some
took great care of
Spanish,
everything.
it's because you're
I mean,
living,
honestly, you'd be hard
you're
pressed to
either
call
A,
this
living so
anything less
damn
than perfect.
sheltered in a very isolated area, or like segregated community, or B, you actively
You
chose
just
not
are
to.
choosing not to.
Like, and I'm not even talking about, like, I'm not saying you have to become, like, a person who could directly
Fluent.
translate all Spanish. I mean, just some passing stuff. I can't speak real Spanish for shit. But the fact of the matter is, I bet I got better Spanish than most of those white motherfuckers in DC.
Probably.
Thanks, Sam. You're an inspiration
I
to
gotta
all
use
of
the
us.
restroom again. I'll be right back.
There.
Good work. New order.
Oh, that would probably depend on which
Please
part of
access
DC you're in.
delivery terminal for further information.
Oh, it was about to drop.
Also, every time I hear somebody complain
Is that supposed
about
to be hold or mash to sleep?
probably hold, every time I hear people talk about people, especially in California, complain about the number of Mexicans in California, I've like part of me wants to have Los Angeles be returned to its original name. El pueblo de Nuestra Señora la Reina de Los Ángeles del Río de I can never see this last one. Porciúncula. No, I never get that one. That last one correct. Oh well.
Have it renamed to the name that defeats you every time you try to say it.
And I live here.
You do.
Have it renamed to a tribe called West.
But then again, I think actually land back would be better. Okay. Apparently, Los Angeles is sometimes called the least European city in America.
El pueblo de Nuestra Señora la Reina de Los Ángeles del Río. How the fuck do you say that last word?
Yeah, you see my issue.
Send it in the group chat. I want to figure it out. I want to look at it.
Porciúncula. Anyway, the city of Our Lady, Queen of the Angels, River of... Yeah, that's the fucking river. I can't even say the name.
Good job.
Okay, I know that the Italian version of the same word is Porciúncula. 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 Okay. What excess? Excess will be offloaded. What fucking excess? Oh, this. Another private locker.
I posted it in the group chat, Dylan.
Hold on. Oh god. Had to get my point across to a bot.
Oh, you banned a bot? Yay.
No. I'm in Helldivers.
I was about to say, like, I didn't see nothing. Damn, you're good.
Alright, hang on. We're taking Mama. Mama's a corpse.
All right, Sam. Take care of her. And don't worry, she won't go necro. Millingan's special. Be funny if these Ha of ours ended up being the key to saving us all.
Order assigned.
Alright. We're gonna get ourselves
You know what?
fabricate.
Seeing that body reminded me of
What?
how you can loot a body in KOTOR and KOTOR 2, and the body can be emptied, so the corpse prints or something.
I love
Oh.
those. Oh, remember? Gold pile, empty. Or
Fuck
gold
you.
pile.
That's good.
That
That's
gold.
a good one.
It's like, it's a gold pile that's clearly like thousands of pieces of gold and it goes 10 gold. It's like, You're so upset.
You. It's like I.
You know,
Like,
so the
whoever
thing
cited
is that
go
the
fuck
gold
yourself.
pile one, I encountered that in Divinity Original Sin 2. At least in Baldur's Gate 3, when there's a gold pile and you pick up all the gold pile disappears.
Yes.
In
See, now that's
Divinity,
actually
you see like a bunch of gold pieces on the floor, and it is basically a barrel that holds the gold inside, so that when you open it, you can then take the gold, but it's still there visually. I remember like delving into a dungeon the first time, looting, and I just see it says pile of gold. I open it and it says empty, and I just went, "You fucking lied to me."
Okay.
What am I looking at?
let's see.
It's like, you
Chocolate
fuck mothering
coins?
bastard.
Huh. I should have gone the other way. Actually, should I have? It's hard to say with the terrain. It's very, very hard to say.
Wait.
This is where I need to get. Depending on terrain, it might be better to continue this path and then go around the Heart Lake. Yeah. Probably what I'm gonna have to do. Alright, so here, and then we'll pass through here. We'll make our way around Arches. But
So somebody pointed out that DC made a like picture of people looking outside at their like door like keyhole, like their door eye keyhole, and they could see like a bunch of superheroes that are Hispanic interacting with the neighborhood and showing their pride for being Puerto Rican, Cuban, all sorts of stuff. And you can see Blue Beetle, you can see Hawk Girl, Bane. The two that surprised me are Kyle Rayner and Selena Kyle.
wow, I'd find that much more interesting if they had fired a writer for not being great, like Gracie Curly Kirk.
I'm just surprised that Selena Kyle, apparently she's been Cuban for like since the 90s. I didn't know that. She's like on her mom's side, she's Cuban.
Son of a bitch!
Lol.
Just calmly put it in reverse and go the other way.
That's not. I'm not gonna deal with that. Not today.
Keep on keeping on.
Why? Come on.
Oh, Alex, did you see Pat and Willie discussing Bioshock Infinite?
I did.
I did laugh at them saying that despite the fact that a large part of the game is like talking about the racism, and you see Irish people get it really bad, and then there's like Asian people and black people, Italians they get away. I
Yeah.
forgot that.
It's weird. So there are a couple quirks of Columbia that are very weird in the context. Like, for instance, Columbia does not believe in sexism. You could find 2 rando
Look, we can
NPCs.
we can forgive a little.
Like, you could find 2 rando NPCs
Or did the
saying that
different
if you
space.
mistreat women, you're like scum. Like that if you don't believe in the equality of like men and women, then you're scum. And it's like, wait, what? The thing about Bioshock
It's literally
Infinite,
just that. It's literally just that Office sketch of I can forgive racism, but I draw the line at sexism. Is you can forgive.
That's not The Office. That's actually Community.
Oh, I always get confused. I apologize.
But the thing with Bioshock Infinite is, I said it before, like it could have been cooler. It could have been cool. Like that art style is, and it's
a lot of bad things could have been cool. That
and
doesn't
like
forgive
conceptual
it.
things like would have really worked out.
Are you in first person? The fuck?
Yeah, whenever you go to look at your surroundings and scan for things, you go into first person real quick. You have to do that to get to Lou to do them. But it's whatever. We'll Bioshock it for that. To me, the mountains of this game that it has you cross, I guess it's supposed to represent the Rockies, but I'm pretty sure the Rockies are a lot bigger than this. I know things are trending in this game, but like these would be about the size of the mountains where I live.
Yeah, the Rockies are,
Alex, at the
all things
same
considered,
point.
a new mountain range, and they are very tall, sharp, and aggressive.
Go ahead and say what was you gonna say, Raven?
I was gonna say at the same point, you managed to go from New York all the way to California in less than 3 hours via motorcycle. They squish distances, okay?
Well, it was not less than 3 hours. I had it like it was a little aggressive. Also, I do have there is a loading thing.
It is less than a couple of days, Alex.
I did have to go through a loading thing. It was not a couple times. Anyway. The central knot. No, it was capital knot, not central knot. Okay. Man, those BTs came back quick after I killed those lions. I actually thought that I'd have more time there.
There we go. Nice. Yeah, no, there's not a world in which you traverse from New York to California anything less than 2 days.
I mean, like, let's be real here about
It is 41 hours of drive time.
yeah.
You have to stop for
Actually,
food and
Check the
gas.
Cannonball Run record.
What?
You don't know what the Cannonball Run is? That's the record. Okay, so don't do this. That's the record of like using the U.S. highway system to make a new record of going from coast to coast. Like a bunch of new records were shattered during the pandemic, as most people were on lockdown. That meant the roads were much emptier than normal, so people were doing entirely new records for the Cannonball Run.
25 hours and 39 minutes in May of 2020.
Okay.
Average speed was 112 an hour. The top speed of 175. Jesus
Who was gonna
Christ.
stop them? Those roads were fucking empty.
It did it in an Audi S6. I'm sorry, someone did coast to coast to coast in 65 hours and 19 minutes? What in the shit?
Emotionally impaired.
Scanning bridges ID. Verifying ID.
When I look at you.
Weapons detected.
That was done with 3 people, presumably taking, like, driving in shifts.
Yeah.
Sam Porter Bridges.
Ladder to the roof.
And I'm trying to keep these bones inside my
Alright, let's go see Hardman. And you see all those preppers in their doomsday shelters, and this guy's got a fucking lakeside mansion.
Delivery complete. Displaying performance evaluation.
You know, part of me really wishes that I could see Alex play through Fallout 3.
That game would just break halfway through my playthrough, and in a way that would be, like, unrecoverable, which would make, like, the last 10 hours unrecoverable, and I'd have to go, like, way back to fix. And then I'd give up. Because that's what happens to me on every Fallout game I try to play!
Like, my brain hears, like, how Alex talks about areas and people and how they live, and I would be curious to see how she reacts to the Tenpenny residents. There's a location in the southwestern section of Fallout 3 called Tenpenny Tower, where a guy from Britain sailed all the way over to America and then founded a city inside a former hotel. And they just has a bunch of people that live there who act like rich snobs. And it's like, well, why are they rich? They don't own anything. They're not trading barons. They're not oil barons.
Yep.
Well,
They're just rich because they wanted to have rich snob characters.
Alright, let's get back to it.
Request to join
Corpse
UCA
number.
registered. Awaiting Cupid connection.
well,
Thermal pad. Okay, so there's still one to the south. One of the preppers in the mountains I've found, but he hasn't joined the UCA yet, and I need to do more jobs for him.
It's so funny,
Please proceed
how
into
you're
the
like,
facility with a cadaver.
this isn't the end of the game.
Good
Look
work.
at all of these empty spaces. Hey, a lot of those are optional.
Keep on keeping on.
Anthropological specimen.
Please proceed into the facility with a cadaver.
Specimen.
does it say time until resuscitation?
Mm.
Hardman.
Administering shock. Stand clear.
Well, you certainly caught me with my pants down. Glad you could make it, Sam. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to alarm you, but I am what I am. Ah, please, lay her down there. Still no sign of them.
You know your heart stops beating.
It stops every 21 minutes. I spend 3 minutes on the beach, and then return. 60 deaths and 60 resurrections per day. 60 opportunities to search the beach for my departed family. This is how I live. This is my life. So, while you've traveled to and from the scene an impressive number of times, my beach count is a little higher. 218,549.
Did you enter World
I see
War
myself
II,
in
though?
that crater.
I don't think you
My
have.
wife and my child. It's like looking at the shape of my heart. The doctors called it myocardial cordiformia. Mine is an especially unusual case. I have pictures. Care to see Hartman's heart-shaped heart? No, you really should. It doesn't run in the family. You know, I never came to terms with their loss. In the days that followed, I became obsessed with an idea that the beach is real and they are on it. I would induce cardiac arrest, 3 minutes at a time.
Hellmeyer is under
and search for
attack.
them, day after day after day.
All you could say goodbye.
Quite the opposite. It is said that everyone's beach is different. So what if everyone's afterlife is different too? I find the thought terrifying, spending eternity alone, which is why I decided to find my family and make sure to move on with them.
You mean die with them?
If death would see us reunited, then yes. But the repeated cardiac arrests took their toll on my heart. The muscle gradually deformed. And after a while, they started calling me the beach scientist. Hartman. I'm glad we could have this conversation. Oh. A body that doesn't necrotize. No sign of decomposition. It's as if she were still alive. The perfect mummy. An impeccable corpse.
What's wrong?
Where's the other thing we were supposed to bring? Ah, found it. Behold.
Wait, dead man.
It appears to be an umbilical cord. Human by the looks of it, I think. But this was no ordinary conduit between fetus and placenta It looks more like a BT's tether. And this was Mama's? Yes. A body that doesn't necrotize, and an umbilical cord connected to the beach. These are remarkable discoveries, Sam. Enough to set my sore heart racing.
5 minutes to cardiac arrest.
I apologize if our conversation gets cut short. I must go back to the beach and look for my wife and child. One person, one beach. That's the rule. But I'm the exception. My beach is connected to others, as if it were the beneficiary of a coronary bypass. Maybe this twisted heart of mine made it possible. All I know is that I will find them. Even if my every visit raises new questions, I'll have my answers one day. One day.
3 minutes to cardiac arrest.
The battlefields. The endless wars you found yourself trapped in. Why do World War-era soldiers wander the beach a century after they fell? Normally, the souls of the dead move on. The beach is just a corridor, a place through which they pass on the way to the other side. But if regret, resentment, a fervent desire to remain, if these feelings are powerful enough, they may give rise to an altogether different beach, a collective purgatory for an army of the damned. Clifford Unger. His misery and hatred, combined with your BB acting as some sort of catalyst, have brought these battlefields to our world.
2 minutes to cardiac arrest. Please proceed to a safe location.
It's just a theory.
You think Higgs is pulling the strings? Pulling all their strings?
Ensure you are in a stable position.
I don't know. But evidence does suggest that Higgs brought them here.
1 minute remaining. Please hold on to something secure.
Oh, before I forget, I have a favor to ask.
Activating lab security measures.
Could you just relax until I come back? Time stops on the beach, but not in the scene. Rest assured, it'll only feel like 3 minutes to you. We'll continue this shortly.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Those sculptures of keys.
You know what I wonder, Alex?
Gramophone. Yes.
I wonder, does Kojima come up with the explanation for the character and then the name, or the name first and then has to write around for the character?
So the thing is, too much of his stuff is interconnected to where he doesn't think of the connections before he gives the names. It's just like he puts them together too much. Like they're too interconnected to where to him having thought of the character names and then developed their thing in isolation. I think he came up with the grander concepts and then gave the names afterwards. Except for Die Hardman. He made Die Hardman because he wanted Die Hardman as a thing.
Like, I listen to all of these things and, like, my brain goes, did you come up with Hard Mommy first and then come up with her backstory?
Remember, Hard Mommy's not real.
I know it's not. I'm using it as an example.
Okay.
I'm saying, did you come up with Hard Mommy first and then explain why she is called Hard Mommy, or did you come up with the idea and then we're like, well, I got nothing. Hard Mommy.
Ball.
Did you come up with I'm fragile but not that fragile first? Or was that something that happened later?
Yeah, you can't look at everything. I'm trying to look at those things specifically, but not all of them are clicking. Alright, looks like we're out of time.
So...
Stand clear.
No luck. Visit 218,550. Oh, sorry. Where were we? I may be used to the 21-minute cycle, but for a first-time face-to-face meeting, there's just too much to cover in one go-around.
Can't be easy living like this.
Yes. And no. Now that I'm acclimated to it, it isn't especially, onerous. Defecation, ablution, nutrition. Most of life's basic functions fit rather easily into a 21-minute time slot. Sleep is the tricky one. And intercourse, I suppose. Verbal or physical. Not that someone in my position has to worry much about either. Do you read, Sam? Listen to music. Watch films? You know, I keep busy. I have a collection of music, television shows, some very interesting short films, and stories. Everything consumable within a 21-minute window. All from before the Death Stranding, of course. But honestly, the 21 minutes I spend here, all downtime, nothing more. Time spent waiting to go back to the Satch. My body may be present, but my soul is on the beach. I'm already dead.
I know that feeling. Lost my family in an accident.
Well, I never expected you to open up to me. As it happens, I've read about your circumstances. I lost my family in an accident, too. I was in the ICU having heart surgery, out of town, in the city. When it was clear that I was going to pull through, my wife took my daughter back to the house to collect some things for me. And then they were caught in the void outs. The city and the hospital were spared the worst, but the shockwave knocked out the power and my life support. I woke up on the beach. The people who died in the two void outs were there.
What happened? What's going on? I saw my wife and my daughter in the procession. Hey! It's me! Where are you going? Wait! Don't leave without me! No! Don't go! Please, don't go! The ICU's backup generator kicked in, and I was brought back to life by the defibrillator. Exactly 21 minutes after my heart had stopped. And that was the last time I saw my family. It's my damned heart's fault that we were torn apart, but it's also the reason I'll see them again someday. It defines me. I am Hartman. Ever since, I've walked the beaches of others. I follow my family's footsteps for a while, and when I get tired, I return here to continue my research. It's funny though, even when my heart stops, the pain lingers. You have any family photographs, Sam? Pity.
5 minutes to cardiac arrest.
You mind telling me what I'm doing here before you go back to the beach?
It's been 15 minutes.
There's a prepper-owned station in this area.
The time is actually truncated.
Our scientists stationed there are researching material from before the Death Stranding.
What kind of material?
The Earth has a long memory. It's trying to tell a story, one that goes back to the very beginning, one that not even the Death Stranding could erase. The scientists are all colleagues of mine from the earlier expedition. I'd like you to bring them onto the chiral network. Amelie proposed we establish our research posts along this belt. Despite a worldwide search, this is the only area known to contain fossils from the late Cretaceous period, when the dinosaurs died out. The assumption being that the last ones lived here, and here alone. You see, hiding in the Earth then are memories of a major mass extinction. Clues that could tell us how to survive our predicament. Certainly, that was Amelie's hope as part of the advanced team when she assigned our backup team here. The past informs the present and aids us in building the future. She was careful to impress that upon us before she went west.
3 minutes to cardiac arrest.
Shut up. I'm putting you on mute. Sometime later, we began to observe unusual activity in the tar belts outside Edgenot City. Vast quantities of tar began surfacing, spreading, consuming many of my colleagues, as well as a chiral way station. The whole incident defied explanation.
You think Higgs is to blame?
I don't know, but we needed that way station. It was essential to expanding the chiral network westward. That's why I'm asking you for your help in building a new one. It won't be much given the handful of equipment we've managed to scrape together. Nothing like the knot cities, that's for sure. But a knot is still a knot. Sam, I want you to use the Cupid to put the scientists on the network, then go to Amelie. Afterwards, we can get back to the important job of researching the deaths.
Don't worry about him, Sam.
The air mat floor absorbs the impact. I'll unlock the door for you.
Hey, is the stream stable for you guys? Just making sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Because my own read of the feed, not on the OBS. OBS is always stable, but my own read of the feed on Twitch does not seem stable.
Mm. Well, that's funny as shit.
Sam, you heard him. You can grab the order at a delivery terminal.
Okay, let me just put this stuff properly. Hang on to a rack.
Our ultimate objective in this region is to build a replacement for a way station that was lost to the tar. The first step is to put a shelter with our scientists on the chiral network. Now, we don't know the first thing about Emily's status or what Higgs is up to. Now, that's a concern for us as much as you. But we won't know more until we get to Edge Knot City. And that means connecting this region first. You should start with the geologist and the paleontologist. The latter's holding something for the Evo-Devo biologist, so I recommend you save her for last. That way, you can finish a delivery and link up the final site in one go. Once all three are on the grid, come back here. Then we can get to work on the replacement for that lost way station.
Then we go west. This is... Okay.
I love that stock wind sound effect.
Thermal pad. Indispensable gear for cold weather operations. Especially useful when traversing snow-capped mountains.
Neat. Am I not carrying any blood bags? Yeah, I am carrying blood bags. Why am I so low on blood?
Order assigned.
Let me see what's up top. He's got a heated pool. He's got a heated pool.
Oh.
1 second. I need to use that pool. Jacuzzi view
Enjoy it while you can.
was constructed in accordance with Hartman's wishes. The water is infused with a diverse range of compounds, which are not only beneficial to the body, but also said to restore stamina and warm the heart and soul. That's nice.
Very nice indeed.
The duck's got the little Ludens mohawk. Oh my god, BB is swimming. How is that even supposed to work?
Don't fucking worry about it, okay?
Yeah.
Alex, the corpse gave you likes not 2 minutes ago.
You know what? Yeah.
We made it back.
Okay, let's find a way to the doctor. And then back to the city. And I'm gonna see if I can't get that one guy his stuff.
Weapons restrictions.
Someone's out.
BTs that aren't affected by my blood. That's not good.
That's not good at all. That's very bad.
Part of this plan requires all BTs to fear me. I can fucking see myself on this map. Oh, here I am. Okay, so I want to go around here. We'll go this way, then back here. Gonna try to traverse down there and make our way back to the doctor.
Keep on keeping up.
That's a big one.
I do not have the means to fight BTs right now.
Happy to have you back. And have made it this far without you.
There's a tiny little secret right there. There's something I want to try. Where's the little cut? Mama gave me a function to cut BT's stuff, like stuff with handcuffs. Never did learn how to do that.
She said that you had to do it from stealth.
Yeah, I know I gotta do it from stealth, but is there a way to equip it? Do I have to equip it, or do I have
It's your
to...
strand.
It's my strand.
Yes.
No, not on the strand.
She
Because it's
said
on the
it's the same
handcuffs.
way- She said it's the same way that you would take out a person. But
have to get up and do it.
Alright.
Weird.
Show yourself.
I just have to sneak up to their umbilical cord and
Really stupid thought.
You share.
Would this count as an emergency C-section?
I don't think I have an answer for you.
You know what I heard recently? People are starting to like petition to others in the government that people who were born under C-section do not technically count as actually being birthed.
Fuck each and every single one of them.
Meaning they were not technically people. I just sat there going like, are you all like this bored that you have to come up with reasons to oppress other people?
What do you mean it got fucking ruined? God damn it. Shit, let me... This shit died so quickly.
Damn. I guess you can't just oops try again, can you?
Technically, I think I could, but I have to go all the way back to the location where I picked up the stuff and then respawn it. Okay, it's only the container that's ruined, it's not the stuff itself. God damn, the time fall.
On that shit?
I don't have any with me. But god damn, the time fall got so much worse recently. It didn't used to destroy stuff nearly this quickly. So I need to get more PCCs.
I'll be back.
At least I'm not going down here through a whiteout. Fuck off.
I knew that was going to happen. Yeah, shut up, baby. You're fine.
Someone's happy.
Oh good, we're out of the snow after everything's already fucking ruined.
I legit thought you were about to tumble down.
I'm back. Oh,
Hey. Ooh, boy.
Begin scan. Scan bridges ID. Verifying ID. Clear. Weapons detected. All weapons will be locked until departure.
Alex,
Yes.
when stream is over, I need you to remind me to tell you about the raccoons.
What about raccoons?
Because I wanted to say the story during this stream, but I feel like if I do, you might get in trouble.
What?
Oh, God.
Just tell me the story.
No. Wait, it's 30 minutes.
Hang on.
Dylan knows what this story is because he was laughing like crazy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no. Alex, wait. Had to think for a second. Like, what? What do you... Oh, yeah.
This shit is fucked up.
S plus.
Nah, I know for a fact it already went beyond
Delivering
3%.
cargo.
Ah, the porter. Excellent.
Teach my ass to walk
No
go
major
anywhere without
damage
fucking,
as far as I can see.
like, go anywhere without fucking container refrigerator spray again.
Yeah.
9%, fuck me.
Hey,
I do so enjoy your visit, Sam.
he said no major
Even
damage
an
as
old
far as
man
he
like
could
me
see.
can find inspiration in your work.
Major damage.
Good work. New order available.
You got the process, the mountaineer, to the first prepper. That's time sensitive. Old-fashioned liquor, baby! I'll have to do that later. Hang on, I gotta use the restroom again.
Liqueur. I don't feel good.
You just in general?
Just a little bit of dizziness.
Mm.
I'm back. Okay, we're just... Oh man, if I had a vehicle, I could actually take these orders. Fuck.
I guess you're not at a place you can grab a vehicle.
You can't print vehicles in preppers. The location has to have a garage for the vehicle. You think about the cargo catapults. Every time I look at them, like, well, wouldn't that just destroy the cargo?
No, they shoot them and then they shoot them and then they have a little parachute so that they fall down gracefully. But if you aim too close to the ground, then yes, it will just basically be throwing a rock against the lake. You can apparently use the catapult as an offensive weapon against mules.
I do remember you mentioned that.
Me sitting here wondering, it's like, huh, I have to deliver this antimatter bomb. Folks at mule camp, catch this!
God.
Raven, did they deserve that? I don't know, but I thought it was funny.
Like, did they deserve that? Probably not, but shit, I laughed.
Beginning scan. Scanning bridges.
Orion's really kicking the shit out of Yamcha. It's like a metaphor. Honestly, he didn't deserve this. But it's still funny.
Good morning, Sam. Decontaminating suit. All clear. Welcome, Sam Porter Bridges.
I think I now know why I was fooled. I was under the assumption that there might have been at least some queer baiting in K-pop Demon Hunters.
Thanks, Sam.
Because
I was hoping there would be more than that. It would there would be something for people to latch on to.
Access delivery terminal for further
It's not. There's just 3 women in it, and they're all painfully straight.
And the bit that got me.
I think you mean comically straight.
The bit that got me is that their color association is that they are the bi-color, like the bi-pride flag in terms of color association. One is pink, one is purple, and one is blue.
Look. All I'm saying is that if you genuinely...
I didn't expect them to end up together, if that's what you think. I was just hoping for queer baiting. I was hoping for a hint of something more than 0.
All I'm saying is, even before I watched it, I knew what people are like. Actually, I didn't even watch it. No, even before you, I knew you told me about what happened. All I could think is, well, yeah, I know what people are like, and I also know that, so many things are cowards, and it's K-pop. K-pop avoids queerness like this, like it's the fucking plague. People who
There's an actual, popular K-pop singer, and she is bisexual, and she has to basically, outside of, certain performances, she is not allowed to talk about it.
Oh, yeah, here's the thing. They make their K-pop stars sign contracts that they won't date anyone while they're an idol because they have to give the illusion of being available to their audience.
Yeah, the K-pop industry is extremely toxic as far as how it's run is concerned.
I feel like you could just replace that with the entertainment industry.
No, the K-pop industry takes that to an extreme degree. Like,
Yeah,
it's
it's
like if
actually
the
like
entire like entertainment
insane.
industry as a whole is that, K-pop is like the pinnacle of that. It's really bad.
Thank you for your continued support.
Like, I don't even know if like J-pop has that issue, but it's a general thing of like other industries. They might say, you know, like keep it up to yourself, like so that you know you maintain the illusion for a little bit, but never like no, you part of your contract is you're not allowed to date anyone. Like that's a whole other level.
Yeah.
I remember that same K-pop singer that I talked about. I forget her name, but she came out as bisexual while still on contract. And after she left the contract, and left the group, she did an interview where she said, "Yeah, so I came out to my agents, and they were very supportive, and they said, look, I don't care. My bosses don't care, but they care about percentages, and the risk of that percentage going down is more important. Do we personally care if you want to date a girl? Not really. But we have the same issue of if you wanted to date a boy, too.
Like, oh no, see, we're not saying you can't date a girl because you're homophobic. We're saying you can't date a girl because we don't want you to date anyone. In your contract, you must remain sexually available to your audience.
Okay.
Okay.
Because they make money off of people being parasocial.
Yes. Yeah, to a degree, yeah.
Yes.
But that's considered like it's poor form because you're fucking around with a person's life.
Gotta stretch my legs.
Yeah.
Oh.
And the reason why a number of people avoid any sort of parasocial relationship with their audience is because stalkers exist.
Because then you get some really creepy people.
And like like the whole thing of parasocial realities are what stalkers naturally get hung up on. So, you know, that's why a lot of things don't actively encourage that.
Construction complete.
That one.
It bothers me that we got the term "stan" from Eminem.
Oh god, yeah.
Wait now. I gotta check something.
That whole fucking song. Not a happy story either.
No.
It's...
Eminem's an individual where, like, he says a lot of ignorant shit, but you find out that he means it in, like, the best possible way a lot of the time.
He's a complicated person.
like most people are.
It's always nice when you can just kind of, like, blanket statement say someone's a good person, someone's a bad person. In a lot of cases, it's like people are complicated. They might try to say something good or stand for something good, and they accidentally say stupid shit.
I have got to listen to Haunted Diaries.
Oh, for Kendrick.
Yeah.
That one, like, I don't even, like, I've heard people give backlash. I listen to that, and I don't get it, personally.
They got on him because he used certain words. And they ignored the active fucking,
What is the red?
Is it not working?
Oh, is it damaged?
Might be too damaged to work. Yeah, it looks like it. Dude, I don't have a ladder to get up there. Damn it.
But yeah,
I don't have
the
an
story
emergency
is supposed
ladder.
to be told in a chronological order, so like the words he uses are a lot more like confused or distasteful in the early parts of it, and then as he goes through it, he like corrects himself and is like, oh, this is my family regardless.
So the song basically represents a journey of going from being like a place of ignorance to a place of understanding and acceptance.
He's basically like talking about how he found out he had a trans aunt and he didn't like, his family was really harsh on them and he didn't understand it, so he was just going along with what they said. And it's like, but my auntie was such a nice person to me, and they have good values, they worship God like I do, they treat people kind, I don't understand it.
Yep.
Hello.
What?
That one just goes into the heavens.
Well then.
What I find fascinating is that the BTs you cut off send you lights as you send them back.
That's actually really cool. And sad.
I wish I could find a video. There's a chess player lady that's like a high tier chess player.
Uh-huh.
And she was making a video series of just challenging people on the street. And she was managing to like garner the like attention of other like professional chess players that just, they could technically do it professionally, but like for whatever reason they don't do it. Like, you know, too far away, they have their own career, they have family.
Mm-hmm.
And it gives them a chance to play on a professional level, but without having to do that. And for like, the stakes are just, you play, you win, or you lose. Yeah. And she was playing against this one guy who had like dripped out glasses, a gold chain, and some nice rings. He's like this older, he's like a old black grandpa, and he's like so friendly to her. She goes, "You stole my knight. If you want to complain about a theft, you can call the police. Call 911. I lost my shit."
God damn.
They were just joking back and forth. It was almost an even fight until he conceded at the end.
911, I lost my shit. I need to place something like that. I also can't keep the steam.
I will say also one thing. Circling back to K-pop Demon Hunters, I recently saw that. I remember seeing people joke that the adoptive mom of one of the main characters was a piece of shit, and I was thinking maybe she's like, I was thinking maybe it was a joke, or maybe like she did it, like she was trying her best and she fucked up, but she was trying her best to be a mom. Because like Vander from Arcane, he tried his best to be a dad. He doesn't do a good job in cases, but he tried. Given the situation, he tried, and I can respect that. Celine, the mom who adopted the lead character, she sucks. She's just awful.
Yeah.
I'm guessing you've seen it too.
Construction.
Oh yeah, I watched it way before I did.
I still haven't seen it. I was like,
It's worth a watch.
I'd get, like, it's on Netflix. I'd have to pirate it. I'd get
Like honestly, I was just kind of into it. I was in for it because the little promo piece they put out for it of the intro fight with the music. It was like the fight scene and the fight choreography and the music was just so good that I'm like, you know what, I'll give it a shot. Why not? And damn near every song in that is a bop. It's like one song I don't vibe with.
They're all good. None of them bottom out further than a 7 out of 10, whether they're my preference or not.
Yeah.
There's a few like absolute gems of songs in that. Fucking Your Idol, let's go.
See,
your idol is so good.
See, the thing is, when I saw I saw one thing, and I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna watch this anytime soon. But it showed the girls like swooning over some dudes, and I saw the way the guys were animated, and I'm just like,
they get over that so fast. They got over that so fast,
I don't
Alex.
care. I saw that one thing, and I'm like, these guys are so mid, and I'm just like,
it's hilarious.
You know what? I will
believe
say this,
it's taking the piss out of the trope.
Their human forms look so much worse than their demon form. Their demon form, I'm like, you know what? I actually get it.
I don't even know what the plot is for that. But like, just seeing like the most like girls swoon over the most mid guys I've ever seen, I'm just like, I don't care. Like I won't be able to watch this.
I don't know. I've seen women swoon over Adam Driver.
I'm not saying that it's not true to life. I'm just saying that I can't watch movies where women swoon over mid men. Like, I say this is somebody who's attracted to men.
Sometimes.
Sometimes, yes.
Man, I still think about that whole discussion we had where you're like, you're an anomaly. I don't normally go for men. Like, it's possible, but I don't normally go for men. A year later, oh, it makes sense now.
How many of these do I have? I got 2. Okay. Oh. I'm in you.
Fucking Bricky was so disparaging in a video earlier today. Adam Driver. Now he does admit that it's mean and that he didn't create it. He just repeated it where he saw a meme of someone saying that Adam Driver is someone trying to draw Keanu Reeves from memory.
That's so
Construction complete.
He said, I know that that's very mean, but I can't unsee it.
That's just the meanest thing I've heard anybody say about Adam Driver. What the fuck?
That is.
He didn't deserve that.
Adam Driver. Yeah, you're like, goddamn, what the fuck did Adam Driver do with that?
He's just a guy. I'm not attracted to him, and I don't see why so many people are either. But I mean, he didn't deserve that shit.
You didn't have to do him that dirty. Goddamn.
Now, see, it would be more disparaging to me if he wasn't, like, if people didn't widely consider him attractive. Like, if he was not considered an attractive celebrity, then I'd be like, that's rude. But considering, like, everyone's like, nah, I don't
see him as unattractive. I see him as, like, just...
I know.
Like, this is the reason why I'm like, I generally don't view most people as being totally unattractive. I just view them as not my type. But also not getting, like, why people, like, screw the world, like, in mass over somebody.
Okay, that was a joke. I don't actually consider that unattractive. Mads Mikkelsen, I consider unattractive. That man looks like melted wax. I don't get it.
I actually do see. Like, I'm actually more actively attractive than Mads Mikkelsen.
I get from a voice and charisma perspective, looking at the man is haunting.
No, I'd actually.
And some people are into it. Me about you're about to say some people are into that.
He looks like a store mannequin. It's creepy to me.
Nah, see, that's part of the appeal.
My point.
I find him genuinely attractive. Like in a I'm gonna fuck that old man kind of way.
Meanwhile, for me, there are people where it's like I can find them either physically attractive or I can find their voice attractive, and I won't find the other to be true. Like 90, like a lot of the heavy lifting for Garrus Vakarian is Brian Keener's voice.
That voice is something special.
It's also modulated.
Only to have reverb. It's still his bass voice.
Yeah, I know. I like the reverb.
Oh, yeah.
In general. God damn, this traversal is hard.
Completely unrelated, but since we're on the topic of Mass Effect, I decided recently to replay Mass Effect Andromeda. Man, I forget how funny that game actually is. Like, there's a bit where one of your characters, the Krogan Drac, he, like, sends you a message, and he goes, I heard from the others about how your father passed away recently. I'm sorry. Krogan don't typically mourn the same way that humans do, but to try and sympathize, here's something that always cheers me up, and it's just a file that says to cheer me up, and it's 47 different pictures of guns in low pixel rate, 7 of which are the same gun.
It feels like something I'd do with Dylan. I'd send him images or something.
Oh.
Like, just like, here's something that will cheer, here's something I look at when I need to cheer up, and it's just a fucking M1 Garand, and 5 of the images are the same image in poor quality.
That's great.
Like, thanks, buddy, I needed that.
Also, that reminds me, I utterly adore the fucking U.S. Postal Service aim representatives.
Yeah.
The mail tank. Let's fucking go.
Why?
What?
Why would they have a tank?
It's a Lego thing.
It's Legos.
It's a
It's
model
just somebody
of
made
Lego.
Oh,
a.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
If the USPS had a tank,
Look.
there would be.
I'm not gonna tell them no.
Oh man.
I'm not gonna tell the male people no, especially when their current vehicles are just shit.
Delivering cargo.
They honestly, I did see some of their newer ones.
Greetings, Sam. Good souls like
Those
you
are actually
will
pretty
be
good.
our
Those actually have
salvation.
like AC,
I should
but I
know.
just feel bad
I
for
can
people who are
feel
stuck
your
on the old.
resplendent
It's so
aura.
funny. My sister
The fucking
hates,
Grumman.
my sister hates fucking postage service.
Oh, the shitty little trucks.
She hates mails, like the mail people, so much.
Why?
Her dad's a mailman.
Damn. Oh, nope, I can't.
And she said it's easier to just say I hate all of them than to look at a specific one and go I hate that one. As long as it's not a left-handed one. If it's a left-handed one, she's fine with them. She goes, hey, that's a lefty like me.
This is just so fucking funny.
Anyway. Here. So this is the cosplayer's
Do
twin
continue to
sister.
take pride in your work.
Oh yeah, she mentioned her.
Yeah. Oh shit, we're at time. I'll have
New order available. Please
We'll
access
continue this
delivery
tomorrow.
terminal
I'm gonna
for further
spend
information.
time off stream, maybe trying to get the first prepper fully connected to the network. They're really close. They're right here. I just need to get them up to 3 stars and then I'll connect to the network. But otherwise, yeah, we're done for today, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one. I'm gonna go for a walk.
Okay.